do so. Okay, guys, without further delay, I would like to welcome my colleague Denisa, who will briefly present Synergistic on behalf of the Synergistic coordinator. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ina. Glad to see you all. And I'm very eager to find out how you developed your ideas and the new pitches. So yes, a few words about SynergistEIC. SynergistEIC is a program that is very tailored and specific, offering support for European impact-driven green tech startups. And we are aiming to increase their readiness in order to be successful for the EIC Accelerator. As you already know, we have objective to support 30 digital and deep tech startups that are developing this kind of solutions during 2 years. So today we will find out the solutions that we supported in the first cohort, the 2023, and we are now actually during the open call 2 promotion, and we will close this open call on 13th of March. So we are some other. And can someone please help me put on mute people that
it's done. Just go on.
Okay, thank you very much. And how we support this? We are offering mentoring, connections with investors, with stakeholders, and we also offer grants up to 50K funding per startup. Of course, we have an accelerator program and we offer access to the EU Innovation Network, and you will find out a bit more on that. Can you help me now with the next slide? Thank you very much. So how do we do this? We identify first the promising green tech startups with some high potential. To access the EIC Accelerator, we have in this regard two tracks. The EIC track that was previously engaged in the step 1 of the EIC Accelerator and the non-EIC track. We also try to reinforce the EIT activities, and this is part of the non-EIC startup track because we are targeting also startups that were not awarded yet the EIC Accelerator grant, and we want to support them also. For the startups, we are trying to connect them with relevant ecosystem stakeholders and also help them raise their readiness for investment. Of course, our main objective is to accelerate the growth, market readiness, and also every potential of the startups. And who is doing this? Actually, we have a consortium that is now present. We have, first of all, the Spheric Accelerator, who is coordinating the consortium. I'm part of Spheric Accelerator, who is the first accelerator in Romania, and we have the mission to connect startups with strategic resources and also facilitate their access to global business opportunities. We also have GeForce here in the room. And GeForce is the pre-seed seed investment program for the mission-driven sustainability and climate tech startups that is supporting us with this accelerator program, and Fast Track also that supports startups and entrepreneurs with building and growing their businesses and also connecting with investors. Moreover, we have Fast Track, we have F-Success, that is the leading SME network and platform for the application management, and who is also tackling this event, and we are thankful for that. So this will be all in all a fair presentation for the program, and these are the startups that we will see today. But I give back the mic to Ina to present it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Denisa, for your presentation and for keeping the time. We have a very tight agenda for today. Now, before we start, I would like to present you briefly the 3 evaluation categories in today's event. The first one is business model. The jury will evaluate the business plan of the startup, the team, the market potential, how the startup differentiates from its main competitors. The other one is pitch deck and presentation skills. The jury will evaluate how well the startup communicates its ideas, whether the presentation is compelling, and whether the presenter fits the given time. The impact category comprises both social and environmental impact and refers to the potential positive impact that the presented innovation has both on the environment and on the society, given the fact that all synergistic companies are from the green tech sector. And now I would like to invite our jury members to introduce themselves shortly in less than 1 minute if possible, because as I said, our agenda is tight. So Vladislav, the floor is yours. Please shortly introduce yourself.
Hey, thanks, Ina. I hope you hear me well. I'm Vlad. I'm a part of the business development team of StartupWise Guys. StartupWise Guys is an Estonian startup accelerator with over 400 startups in our portfolio. We do invest and accelerate B2B, SaaS, sustainability, cybersecurity, fintech, XR, Web3, and prop tech startups. Our team, business development team, we focus on global expansion, market research, partnerships, talking to governments, corporates, doing conferences, partnerships, and everything that can secure the growth of the company. I'm myself from Ukraine, but for the past 5 years, I'm located in Lithuania, and right now I'm in Madrid, actually. So yeah, this is shortly me.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure to be here.
Likewise. Our next jury member is Hugo. Hugo, please present yourself shortly as well. The floor is yours.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me well as well. I'm Hugo, French, based in Paris, working for VC fund Capagrow, which is a VC fund specialized in agri-food tech. We invest in seed, Series A and Series B startups in the agri-food industry, and happy to be here as well today.
Likewise, thank you. Thank you so much, Hugo. And then our third jury member.
Hi, I'm Stênio Franco. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you well.
Can you hear me?
The floor is yours. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm Stênio Franco. I'm based in Portugal. I'm a member of our cross-Atlantic ventures. We do investments in climate tech, health tech, green techs, focusing the internationalization of startups through an ecosystem working close together with Fast Track Ventures. We have been set up our first fund and are quite happy to participate.
Thank you so much, Stênio. Thank you for being here today with us. And without further ado, I would like to tell you more about the housekeeping rules for today. Oops. Sorry. So I will be sharing with you the housekeeping rules. Please make sure to be muted all the time, especially during the startups presentations. As you already know, the event is being recorded and you can choose whether to keep your camera turned off or on. Each pitch is up to 4 minutes, followed by a 4-minute Q&A, open for the jury members and for the synergistic partners. The session moderator will be keeping the time strictly and will be interrupting when the time is over, both for the presentations, for the pitches, and for the Q&A part. For the showcase participants, if you are interested in any of the synergistic startups, you're welcome to fill in our expression of interest form that we will share with you in the chat. And you're encouraged to do so during the pitches or during the Q&A part or between the breaks, between the 3 groups. The jury members, apologies for that. The jury members will need to fill in their evaluation cards during the Q&A part after each pitch. We will be sharing with you again in a personal chat message the links to the evaluation cards. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, of course, please ask them in the chat. Each startup has a unique story to share, and we are eager to hear them all. So without further ado, I will pass the floor to my colleague Orion, who will be the moderator of today's pitching session. And yeah, let's kickstart.
Thank you, Ina. So should
Orion, maybe before you share your screen, something important that I forgot to mention about the housekeeping rules is that you're going to give a thumbs up when
Yes.
there is only 1 minute left, so that the startups can check where they are and with their presentation. So this is for the startups.
Yes, so thank you, Ina. So hello, everyone. My name is Orion, and I will be moderating. I'm really happy to see you all here. So as Ina said, to avoid interrupting you during your pitch after 3 minutes, to let you know that you have only 1 minute left, I will just put an emoji sum up that should show up on your screen, and that means that you have only 1 minute left, and I will be interrupting you after 4 minutes of pitching. So we can start. So I would like to remind everyone that you have the rules for the recording in the chat, and to the jury member that you have the link for the group 1 form that you need to fill in during the Q&A session. I think I said everything, so let's start with the first group. So we have group 1, we will have the first 5 startups, which will start with World from Space, followed by Tracken, Along Route, Conry Innovation, and Old LNG. So I would like to invite World from Space to now share the screen, and we will start the time as soon as you start to share your screen.
Yeah. The screen is shared, right? And you can hear me.
So,
okay, so thank
it.
you for the organizers and thank you for also the provided support. It was really a nice journey. Today I'm going to present our solution, Dynacrop, which what we are addressing the modern problems of the precision agriculture and generally the agriculture industry itself. So the market is unstable. It's a lot of wastes and of fertilizers and other inputs, but also there are tons of limitation that the agriculture industry has to address. So what we can do, we can increase the yields on the certain fields by optimized crop production. We can handle the resource efficiency, so by targeted use of water, fertilizers, and pesticides to save the cost, and that again comes with reduction because that's the new way of saving these days in agriculture. So the new ways of earning and revenue. We have
Erwin,
this. Yes,
your presentation is not moving.
It's not moving. Wow.
Maybe try to put it in presenter mode.
It's very interesting because I'm seeing that it's moving. So you can see just the first slide.
Now we can also see the second one.
Okay, okay. So you see it now. Now it works.
Sorry,
okay, yes,
I think if you need to put it in exhibition mode. Exhibition mode.
You can put it in presenters mode. But like this is also fine, please.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, okay. So we are addressing all this with our solution Dynacrop, which is a white label digital farming tool that is using satellite data and AI, but also machine learning algorithms to enhance the precision and profitability by data-driven technology. It's an API that works in the backend, and we are integrating it into other systems and solutions. So who do we help? The digital agriculture platform, precision farming services, soil sampling companies, insurance banks, but also the whole agtech industry. So we do this with, as I said, like our API. Our API has the functions of to monitor current and historical data. Based on that, to do variable rate technology, zoning, then time series and graphs from 2017, cloud independent soil moisture monitoring, and it comes with quick integration. So like the other features are soil sampling optimization, where we divide the field into certain parts and we target the places where the soil sampling should be done. That soil sampling is later on used for variable rate seeding and fertilizing and so on. So also the long-term yield potential, where we check how the field is productive in the certain areas. And also with the daily field report that is showing like the actual state of the field and also historic data, and gives some signs that there is an anomaly and so on. So the financial benefits, if you combine this all together, it can come up to 150 euros per hectare of savings for the end user. And as you can see, like our users are spread worldwide. So the system is tested very well in almost all continents. Yeah, in all continents except the cold ones. And yeah, like the new developments, it's cloud-free monitoring and also phenology detection with some other value-added tools. And I'm also thank you for your attention. So we are a Brno-based startup, which is working also with IoT and R&D projects with the European Space Agency. And I think so my time has extended.
Yes, we allow a few seconds more for the technical problem. Thank you very much for your presentation and for keeping the time.
Sorry for the technical issue.
It's okay. Okay, thank you very much. So let's move on to the second startup. So we have now, sorry for the question. No, sorry for the Q&A. Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Erwin. I actually have two questions that came up to my mind. The first one is about the accuracy of the satellite imagery that you can get. And the second one is about the go-to-market strategy that you have today, and what are your typical clients versus who are your end users?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So the satellites we have in our system, when it comes to spatial resolution, we have 3 × 3 meter resolution, but also 10 × 10 meter resolution. When it comes to time and the revisit of the satellite, so there is a daily revisit, so a daily overfly, and then the data depends on the cloudy days, because the clouds are big enemies of satellites, but for the optical satellites. And also we have a backup weekly from the European Space Agency. We are also integrated radar-based satellites, which are cloud independent. So we can get from them data at the moment just for soil moisture, but for the future, we are also combining those data to have vegetation indexes based on Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2, which will give us also vegetation indexes every 3 up to 5 days, let's say. Yeah, so that was the first question. The second question is our go-to-market strategy is, so like we are already having paying clients, and so far we are not working with the end user at this stage. So we are integrating our API solutions into other software and agricultural softwares, but also directly selling maps to precision farming services. So for example, we have soil sampling companies. We do them the maps, we do them the zoning, we provide them, and after that they are just ready to go out to do the sampling. Once they have the samples, once they have the analysis, they get it back to us. We set them up the variable rate maps, and they are good to go for the actions. And yeah, so like at this moment, the biggest focus is on the Central and Eastern European region, where we have the best connections, and also where we are testing and validating all of our data. But we are opening also to go. We are open also to go on other markets with a bigger present. Yes. And yeah, like in the next year, maybe we're gonna also set up a platform where we can also provide data and everything to the end users, the farmers itself.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have 1 minute left.
Yeah, I would like another question. How do you have access to this network of data and satellites? How's the business model to access data? You rely on public data and or purchase of data from the traditional data satellite providers. You are thinking to have to launch your own infrastructure. What's the roadmap? Is the differentiation between other players which are using the same data that's available for purchase or publicly nowadays?
Yeah, so like we are having public and also commercial data. So once the European Space Agency launched its space program, the Copernicus program, there are many companies that are using that data. Now the thing is like, how are we using that data? So some of them are using for large scale monitoring. We are focusing on the field level, and so what differs us is the geospatial, our geospatial knowledge and geospatial background, where we are focusing on the field level and doing the best possible zoning on that field level. So,
So
okay.
the
And the other parts are the commercial satellites. That is the company's name, Planet. But there are plenty of others also.
Okay, time is up. Thank you very much for the question and for the answers. So we will now moving on. So reminder to the jury member to fill in all the information in the Google that was provided to you. And I would like to move on to Traken, please. You can share your screen, and once you share the screen, we can start the time.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, hopefully you can see it well and that everything works. Okay, so hello everyone, we're at Traken and we are on a mission to enable small volume energy producers to gain access to high value energy markets. We envision Traken to become a next generation technology provider for energy flexibility markets of the future. So why are we doing all of this? Because of this guy. Well, he's clearly preparing for some kind of a doomsday or something, but more than 51% of all renewable energy resources in the EU are owned by individuals, and that's a tremendous capacity. And almost all of them are small volume producers that don't have access to the market. Their excess energy is being off-taken by distribution system operators, and they're getting bad prices for the energy that they're pushing to the grid. On the other side, energy aggregators and traders have direct access to the market, but they have several challenges in integrating all of these small volume producers. First of all, they're not visible to them. Operational costs exceed the commercial gain, and long-term commitment means less flexibility. Visibility of all energy assets and operational excellence is what Traken is all about. That's why our aggregation platform has all assets verified and available for single or bundled offers with self-enforceable power purchasing agreements. It enables aggregators to create virtual power plants and perform dynamic training to obtain best possible prices with maximal flexibility by leveraging blockchain technology. Energy trading is a game for large players, but we also thought about the little guy. Our mobile application for prosumers enables seamless onboarding and performance tracking. And for the first time ever, prosumers are able to engage in flexibility trading and offer green energy certificates on top of the energy that they are producing. The production can be traced and verified to the actual source, and everybody involved can know exactly how much clean electricity is produced. Traken platform fosters inclusive energy networks, empowering all consumers and promoting equality. With its role in global emission reduction, Traken contributes to annual reduction to 10.9 tons of CO2, while addressing significant losses through electricity balancing. We are a team of entrepreneurs, not just founders. Strahinja is a serial entrepreneur with 5 ventures on his list. He had his first exit in 2015 from a company that now has over 2,000 employees and offices in 3 continents. Nemanja has managed multiple EU-funded projects and works as a strategy and business advisor to governments and businesses, including 3 blockchain startups. Pavle is a blockchain architect, previously consulting for Ethereum Foundation on Swarm Givit, and I'm a domain expert in the field of renewables and smart grids with vast experience in the development of startup ecosystem. Within the advisory board, we also have some all-star players helping us with business, finance, and strategy. By now, we have been supported by multiple programs and accelerators, such as Serbia Innovation Fund, UNDP, EIT, SynergistEIC, and others. And right now, we're entering the Catapult program with a matching grant of 300K. On the commercial scale, we have secured partnership with large industry players such as CPEX as part of the IPEX spot, ELS from Slovenia, Core from Croatia, EDP from Portugal, and others. And market-wise, we have a playground of 189 billion with our initial targeted revenue of 5.4 million by 2027. Now, we're entering our first fundraising round of 1.2 million that we are going to use for further development, marketing, sales, and operations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right on time. So I would like to remind the jury member to fill up the form and to invite for 4 minutes of question. Let's try to have every jury member to be able to ask at least 1 question. Thank you.
Hi, Anna. Good question. How many users do you currently have?
How many?
How many users do you currently have?
We still don't have users.
Okay, and what's your plan to? How do you plan to attract them? What's the main strategy?
So, the main strategy to attack them. So we plan to hire sales consultants that are well positioned in the energy industry to build a sales pipeline of relevant stakeholders. Then the second, we plan to use the existing and possibly new strategic partnerships, since that is really important for us. Mostly from Horizon projects that we are writing and collaborating with, that will endorse and disseminate our technology and business cases throughout their networks. And for the onboarding of prosumers, for the small ones, we have a separate outreach approach and a separate marketing team. We will target collaborations with equipment manufacturers and existing energy companies. Essentially, the first one is the early stage prosumers will come hand in hand with the aggregators.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Stênio Franco. Did you ever already have a test case, a fully test case for your business model?
So we have already did a pilot with 5 prosumers that were onboarded on our application and did a test as a virtual power plant. So we bundled their capacity together, and we could distribute the exact amount of the shares that they own for adding their electricity.
Okay, thank you.
And what does the competitive landscape look like in the industry?
I have a slide for that. Just a second. Okay, it's here. So maybe Strahinja would. Yeah.
Essentially, I will jump in to explain a little bit what Strahinja's edge here is. And essentially, we are not just a cooler, we are completely transformative in a way that we leverage the blockchain technology to the full extent. In comparison to the competition, basically, Power Ledger is probably leading the market, being the largest one. But on a global scale, they're only present in Australia and basically Southeast Asia. So that's their playground, but they already have very similar solutions to ours. And when it comes to EU, basically FlexiDAO is the most notable competitor to us, but they are mainly focused on the large solar and wind producers, and they're focusing only on the case of issuing guarantees of origin that are validated on the blockchain, which is essentially just one of our features.
We have 40 seconds left.
Yep. Go for it.
Just a small question. Which geographic market you are targeting to aggregate? What's the focus, the initial focus in your business plan?
Well, we are based in Serbia, so our focus is in Southeast Europe for the first kickoff, and then we would focus for the markets of Italy, Germany, and basically Spain, Portugal, and Netherlands. This is where we already have contacts, and this is what we are targeting.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation and all the questions. We will be moving to the third startup. So we will now be moving to Along Route. Yes, exactly. So I will start the time now. Thank you.
Right. Hi. Good morning. It's such a pleasure to be here today. Synergist has been an amazing experience for us. So I'm Georgia. And for the next few minutes, I will be talking about marine weather forecasts, and specifically about how our super accurate forecast of certain oceanographic parameters can guide the maritime industry towards a safer, cleaner, and more cost-efficient future. It is evident that maritime transportation is an important greenhouse gas emissions contributor, and so strict climate regulations are pushing the actors within the industry to take immediate action. So we are now looking at a net zero target by 2050. So these actors are now actively looking for solutions that work and can actually reduce the blue greenhouse gas emissions. One of the most promising group of solutions is weather ship routing systems, which consider the future weather at sea and suggest optimal routes for vessels to keep fuel consumption and emissions as low as possible. In practice, however, the systems don't work as expected, and that is mainly due to the inaccurate marine weather forecast that they use as an input. Ocean physics is so complex that existing numerical forecast models fail to predict its behavior properly, especially for rough seas. In a long route, we have examined this pain point and decided to take a new direction. We leverage the knowledge of physics that is hidden within good quality historical data. And with our smart artificial intelligence models, we produce forecasts of critical oceanographic parameters with much higher accuracy than existing products. We are also developing smart APIs for a more efficient and convenient delivery of our data to our users. But the best thing is that with our data as an input and with no other change, existing weather ship routing systems can boost their performance and work up to 130% better than they do today. This breakthrough can be amazingly positive for a cleaner planet and a healthier economy. We expect to reduce cargo ship emissions by up to 50 million tons per year as a long route gains market traction. Our diverse and gender-balanced team has already proved its value by delivering outstanding results in a very little time and with limited resources. Now we are starting to expand and bring in more exceptional talent. So our concept has been validated by prestigious mechanisms, and among others, we can mention the European Space Agency Incubator in Greece, and of course, the SynergistEIC Accelerator. So apart from confidence, we have now close relationships with potential early adopters and collaborators, and we are very close in securing our first business agreement. Actually, very recently, we got our first letter of intent with a potential customer for a business agreement when our product is as mature as needed. And we are targeting to a rapidly growing market, this of marine management software, which is basically driven by the ongoing digitalization, the AI trends, and of course, the pressing climate legislations. To avoid any confusion, we are not weather ship routing providers. They are our main customers, while shipping stakeholders are our end users and key market enablers. A very modest scenario predicts a total net profit of 22 million euro in 5 years of business, which should correspond to around 40% of our revenue. So, up to now, we have managed to prove that it works, and we have the numbers to support and demonstrate it. We also have a very clear and budgeted roadmap for developing our minimum marketable product.
Time is up.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Okay. No worries.
Okay, stop, sorry. Yes, sorry. Okay, sorry. Yes, so did you remember? Don't forget to fill in the form, and let's move on to the 4 minutes of question, please.
Perfect. I have 2 questions, in fact. I was quite impressed that you are already setting up how much you wanna raise in Series A and Series B, from what I understand from the presentation.
It's kind of
Okay,
captures.
let me just finish the question. I just said that I was impressed, and I think it's quite bold. I would say that sincerely, as a feedback, I would not do that at the level of stage you are. Okay, I think you can add in a business plan, but you cannot determine even if you didn't pass the phases that are proposing to build, what will be your needs. Although you have a really detailed business plan, what it's quite difficult with a new product out of the market. And my question is like the costs of implementing and actually the go-to-market for initiative like that is quite expensive. So my question is, do you think you're addressing your exactly capital needs in terms of addressing the phases that you are proposing, 24 to 28, with the amount of capital you are proposing here?
Yeah.
I'm asking as a reflection.
Sure. So yeah, thank you for the question. You're right. This slide here captures our vision for the next 10 years. However, we have done a very detailed budgeting regarding the first step, that is regarding taking our product from where it is today to an actual minimum marketable product. And for this, we have done a very detailed capturing of activities and budgeting, and for the moment, we're looking for 400K to basically start selling. Yeah. So we have clients that are very close to us, that are very interested for our product. We have a detailed, baseline of where we are today and where we want to go just to start selling, as I said. So yes, that slide could show up a little maximalistic, but still it kind of captures, as I said, our vision for the next years. What is very detailed and mapped today is this slide I'm showing here, which is basically showing what we have to do to start selling by the end of 2024.
Another short question.
Maybe a quick one from me. This industry in general is quite old and traditional in a way. Are there any challenges for you to overcome the regulations that will potentially might stop your growth? Is there something specific that you need to work on?
Sure. Now, you are right. The shipping industry is very traditional, but our direct customers are maritime software companies who are quite, say, modernized. So for the moment, we haven't found any kind of obstacles reaching out to them and make them hear what we offer. They are also very interested in what we do, because they see that they have this kind of problem with the accuracy of forecast. So they take all the blame from the shipping companies that their systems don't work, but it's actually not their fault. So we found fertile ground there, so there shouldn't be a problem regarding our direct customers. Also, we find that shipping companies start listening to us as well, because the regulations are actually pushing them to change things and find from soft solutions like ours to quite hard solutions like changing engine and fuel. So it is a very interesting moment right now and quite convenient for us.
Okay, thank you.
7 seconds left.
Okay, I just had a very quick question on the competition, but I guess we won't have time to tackle it.
Yeah, we've seen the competition, and we saw it. And yeah, we are ahead of it in terms both in convenience and accuracy. Basically, there are two main groups of competition. This is private institutions, research institutions, and some companies, but they are all using or building on traditional numerical forecast models. So we are ahead of them, as I said, both in terms of accuracy and in terms of convenience of delivering the data.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The time is up. And we will be moving to the next one. Again, a reminder to the jury member to fill in the forms. And then we will now moving to Conry Innovation.
Okay, hi, hello there. Thank you to SynergistEIC for giving me the opportunity today. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yes, great. Okay, so Conry Innovation is all about breaking the barrier to growth of low carbon footprint protein in fish aquaculture. This is a readily scalable industry in terms of getting for the EU Green Deal. Our first target market is salmon aquaculture. It's a premium product and it's got a really persistent problem. So let's go to the next slide. Sea lice are parasites, and in typical pathogenic way, they go to an exponential infestation if left unchecked. Here we go. Is it not moving? Yeah. Global salmon aquaculture is in in cold water in the northern hemisphere and also in the southern hemisphere. Sea lice are regulated everywhere the salmon are produced, and it costs the industry 3 to 4 billion euros per year. And of course, in the last decade, there has been more or less a kind of stagnation in growth in the industry. It is currently the #1 biological obstacle to growth in the industry. In terms of impact, if we just look at Norway alone, where they produce over 50% of global production, it's costing the industry there a minimum of 2 billion euro. It's in particular red zones that you can see there. It's enforced 6% biomass cuts, and already some zones have experienced 12% biomass cuts over 2 years. It gives a longer production cycle. And unfortunately, over 25% of salmon deaths at sea is really what they're feeling now in those red zones. 50 feeding days are lost, and then there's quality downgrades at processing. Can you see those? Conry's solution that we are protecting this year, in terms of patents, we will deploy our proprietary solution in the salmon pen. We're targeting the early life stages of the lice. These are the explosive infective stages. And we're also implementing an AI Sense Detect Act to be used and complement to our solution. In terms of who's excited about our solutions, the Norwegian Seafood Innovation Cluster, the Irish Seafood Development Agency, the Scottish Industry Cluster, and also the regulatory authorities, Sandbox, that we spoke with earlier on. We also have a very large data opportunity. If we have production, if we have a unit in the salmon pen, we can also monitor many other variables. In terms of economic impact, in the red zones, you're looking at up to only a 75% turnover or a yield from those salmon pens. And that gives rise to a 25% mortality. And when we look at the figures for this, it's actually a very large figure. When we just look at the salmon mortality itself, but also looking at the treatment costs and then the quality downgrades, really brings it up to about a 1 million impact per salmon pen. In the deep red zones, there's around 3,000 pens, so it's a favorable figure for us. In terms of our team, we have deep expertise. I myself, formerly a director at the Marine Institute for Marine Research, Technology Development and Innovation. My co-founder previously founded another Cathix company called Cathix Ocean, subsea imaging company, and we have 2 R&D biologists working with us. Our advisory board adds significantly. Our chair is Orla Battersby, a former senior leader with Enterprise Ireland. Jan Feenstra is the former managing director of MUI Ireland. MUI are one of the largest producers of salmon. From a communications perspective, Stephen has joined us. He's former group editor-in-chief of independent newspapers, and Dominic O'Toole is our startup technology advisor. In terms of traction, we have traction in Ireland and Scotland.
Please wrap up in 10-15 seconds.
Okay, we have traction in Ireland and Scotland, and we are planning to go to Norway. Our medium-sized producers are here that we have contacted. In terms of impact, we have societal, economic, environmental, and climate impact.
Time is up. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So let's move on to the 4 minutes of question.
Okay. Hi, Margaret. Quick question. Is there competition? Are there any similar companies on the market?
Yes, there are traditional type treatments, but currently no one method or combination of methods is actually able to reliably control the solution. So it is not unheard of to have 10 delousings done on the fish. But in fact, it's not only a combination of the sea lice themselves, the effects of the sea lice, but also the effect of the treatments. The treatments can be quite harsh on the fish and lead to the 25% mortalities that are seen.
Okay, thank you.
Next question.
Hi, Margaret. Is it an issue or pain point that is specific to salmon, or can this be applied to other type of aquaculture fishes?
Yes, it can be applied to other aquaculture fish. We're targeting the premium salmon market because they are the, let's say, key leaders in aquaculture and key influencers on aquaculture generally. But there are 40 different sea lice species that affect commercial fisheries at sea, aquaculture at sea, but also on land. So, for instance, there is a Argillus species that attacks freshwater trout and perch and pike. And so we want to focus first of all on the salmon market and then turn our attention later, once we are profitable and working well, to the other market. The finfish aquaculture is worth around $146 billion per year, or 135 billion euros per year. And certainly we will have some effect on both the other marine species and also freshwater species. We will need to use a different business model because some of those are not premium fish. So we have to work out a different business model.
I have a question about your addressable market. Did you make any survey or inquiries with communities, farmers, or producers? How would be the impact of this solution?
Yes, we've spoken with quite a few salmon producers at this stage. The impact of being able to reliably manage and control sea lice numbers will be transformative. When asked the question, if tomorrow we can solve the sea lice problem for you, what does that mean? And straight away the reaction is, we will double production. That's straight away the reaction. The industry sees a huge opportunity right now for them in terms of the macro trends. Very low carbon footprint protein, 10 times less out of beef, 5 times less out of pork, 1.5 times less out of chicken. Growing population, an older population, it's easily digestible product. And so they see a huge opportunity, but they can't increase their production because it's a regulated organism. And because no method currently is effectively dealing with it in a longer term, they're really being held back. But if tomorrow we can solve the problem for them, they will double production.
20 seconds left. If there is a quick question.
Just a question. Why you didn't put this in your opening slides that you are double production?
Okay, thank you. I will put that on my opening slide.
Okay, time is up. Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation and all the questions.
Thank you.
And the last startup of the first group. So moving on to Ode LNG. Please share your screen.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Let me share my PDF. Just in a second. I will take on my time to address a quick note on the members of the jury. Because ODLNG, we set up ODLNG in Tallinn, Estonia, as e-resident. And we are three funders, originally from France. And we love Portugal, with a lot of connection in Portugal and the Brazilian market as well. So it was for the quick introduction. Can you see my screen now? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So ODLNG, why ODLNG? Oh, if someone could mute his phone, it would be better for me. Thank you very much. ODLNG is a combination of the blockchain model ODL and liquefied natural gas, or LNG. We help the LNG industry to consolidate and share GHG emissions and data and green credentials. Okay, why does it matter? A negative sentiment and reputation ruins credibility and business. With our solution, we help the energy industry to control over their carbon accounting data sets and to execute carbon offsetting plans. Why we do that? We create what we call a digital asset, a virtual representation of a specific volume of natural gas and or liquefied natural gas. We can differentiate with the metadata the fungible part with the non-fungible part, including GHG emitted, carbon footprint, and carbon offsetting, if any. With our solution, we can say that the LNG industry, they get access to, we used to say, a single origin of truth to transact carbon neutral LNG cargoes, generating additional revenues with a premium, meaning that collaboratively, because it's we consider the system as a multi-stakeholder model, they can get access to the data, they can share this data in a full transparency. They can have a clear delineation on who need to compensate what, who need to pay for what, and they can generate premium when they resell that carbon neutral LNG premium. Additionally, as a natural gas producer, if they are making some efforts to have a low carbon production, they can transfer this delta to their consumers with, again, an additional revenue with a premium. And they saw us as a potential provider as a sustainable competitive advantage, because they saw that in Europe, for instance, but in Japan, it's the same. They will have some regulations now to disclose GHG emissions, including methane, and to provide that in a full transparency. So they want to take advantage of that, and they want to take an advance on that. Next slide, how it works, PDF. Okay, how we do that. We leverage blockchain technology, smart contracting approach, and decentralized knowledge graph, again, to provide transparency, security, and to get access to the information, and to create the digital asset, to be able to transfer the ownership of this digital asset by saying that if you are the owner of the digital asset, you are the legitimate owner of all the information that are associated with a specific volume of LNG. In the context of SynergistEIC, we would like to explore the synergistic approach and synergistic relationship between blockchain and AI. First of all, from a user perspective, because AI provides great front end, great user interface. This is something that we don't have with blockchain. It's like super poor and clunky. And we would like to explore as well AI on the first part, when the operators, because
15 seconds to wrap up.
Okay, 10 seconds. So just to say that we want to support the efforts and to extract some value from this data. To do that, we ask for 200K, mainly on R&D and pre-commercial activities. Our business model, transaction-based, membership fees.
Time is up.
And which are bringing positive effects on climate change and social acceptance to operate. Thank you very much for your support on that.
Thank you. Let's move on to the Q&A question, 4 minutes.
I have a first question regarding the team. I don't think you mentioned who was behind the project, so happy to learn a bit more about it.
Sure. I have a specific slide for that. So yeah, we have 3 vendors. We have a CTO. I've met him in Switzerland, in the so-called Crypto Valley. I was at this period of time with the United Nations, working on digital transformation for least developed countries. He was the CTO of a crypto startup, and we have Snezana. She's a COO. She has a strong background in international relationship, including energy and transportation. And our smart contract developers is located in Japan. We have now 3 smart contract developers located in Colombia, very focusing on green impact, green transformation. And the part for AI, we have someone in Italy, very good in content. That's quality. You can share my screen. But this is us. Thank you.
Next question.
Then I will ask another question. Have you had talks with the potential clients, and do you see a real pain points today with no potential solutions? And another associated question is what are the industry incumbents doing today in terms of regulation and meeting these points?
Yeah, good point. Let's start by the end. The regulation on here on the European side, Commission and the Council, they are drafting, and Parliament, they are drafting a new regulation to impose to oil and gas operators to disclose GHG emissions and methane emissions. And they want to set up what they've called transparent methane emissions debate. So as you can anticipate, from the other part of the Atlantic in the US, they are scrupulously following that, and they see us as a clear solution for them to disclose this information in full transparency, to provide that to the market. I mean, among them, LNG is a small club. They do know each other very well, and they don't trust. They're absolutely not trustable themselves. So they need to have a sort of third party to get access to that. And to address your first question, yeah, there is very eager now to test and to pilot a solution, mostly because they said, oh, we have a solution to subsidize and to make money with the efforts that we are making. So please consider that oil and gas, they have a little conscious about climate change and everything. What they want to do is say, okay, we need to comply with regulation, and if we can make money with the effort that we are making to do that, that's even better. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
10 seconds left if there is one last one. No? Okay. Thank you. The time is up for the Q&A session. And we just finished the first group, so the first 5 startups. So thank you, everyone. I want to remind the jury to fill out the form. We will be changing the Google form link for the second group. And now we will have a 5 minutes break for everyone. So let's meet at CT 11, 10 past 11 in 5 minutes to continue with group 2. The second group, if the jury members are back, Ina is going to give you the evaluation card link for the group 2, which is a different link from the first one. So please make sure you use the second one now. And Ina will pass the rules again in the chat, just as a reminder. So you can find them in the chat, and a reminder to the jury to fill it during the Q&A session. And for group 2, we will have another 5 startups. So we will start with Agrovisio, Cedrian, Smart Farm Robotic, Zelus, and Regrowth in that order. And if everyone is ready, Ina, is it okay for you to start now?
Absolutely. Let's start. Thank you, Rian.
Okay.
And good luck to the presenters.
Yes, so Agrovisio, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen.
Okay, and I start the time.
Okay, hi, I'm Emre, co-founder of Agrovisio, and we help farmers and agribusinesses to make data-driven decisions based on satellite and drone observations. We currently have more than 20,000 users and helping ministries, satellite companies, banks, municipalities, contract farmers, and small farmers to contribute sustainable agriculture. And climate change creates uncertainties in agriculture more than ever. And we believe to fight against these uncertainties, satellite monitoring will be as popular as tractors in agriculture. So we built our own technology, own platform, and built our own server infrastructure to make that service available and affordable for every single farmer. And in Agrovisio, we use different satellites to monitor farmlands, and we can measure water stress, crop health, fertilization needs, estimate yield amount and harvest time. And our patented AI works as an early warning system. We can detect problematic zones in the fields and notify farmers to prevent yield loss. And we can monitor any place on Earth without the need of additional devices. And with our patented AI, we can also detect what is being grown at each field. And you can see here, the purple ones are cereals, the yellow ones are corn, and Turkish Ministry of Agriculture is using our data for nationwide cap distribution and funding assessment. And this is our 4th year together with them. And our innovative technology received many awards from the different parts of the world, including Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, United States, and Bangladesh. And together with many awards, we are listed in Food Tech 500 and selected as top 7 global startups by Bayer. And it's an emerging market, crop monitoring, and it is expected to triple in 5 years. But we managed to quadruple in 2 years and currently have users from 6 different countries. Of course, in an emerging market, we are not the only players. There are skilled players, but our killer feature lies within our technology. And using our super resolution algorithms, we offer better observation quality at affordable prices. And we can provide analysis from multiple satellites simultaneously. We can use 10-meter, 3-meter satellites and sub-meter resolution 50-centimeter satellites together according to needs and the budgets of the clients. And we can also give drone analysis together with satellites. And we do not only just generate the maps and leave the farmers alone, we also give verbal explanations to the farmers. And we believe that our 85% of retention rate is because of this kind of interaction. And Agrovisio is a big family with its 20,000 users, 12 team members, and 3 co-founders and, of course, investors. And as co-founders, we worked in military defense industry many years together. And we have global patents in machine learning and computer vision areas. And one of the co-founders is also an active farmer. And we also invested recently by one of the largest tractor company of the Turkey, which has an Italian partner, CNH, which is also a big name. And we are currently building a joint product together with them to serve their 100,000 farmers network. And we are looking for another round, and we will be closing it at the end of this year. And the goal is to expansion in different parts of the Europe, and we want to go with it. And if you want to be part of our journey, you can connect with me.
Again, to wrap up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So place to the Q&A session. Thank you. The jury member, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot for the presentation. I saw that on the last slide you were mentioning new product features with the carbon budget. Could you elaborate on that? And happy to have your also perspectives on the carbon market.
Yes. Currently, we are providing analysis for water and fertilization usages, but we want to also have different features like how much carbon dioxide is released from fleets of the tractors and how much it's like a farming solution, farm management solution will be integrated to understand the carbon budget of the daily production. So we can give carbon crediting, and we can give like ESG standards into the fields.
Another question? Still have 3 minutes.
Maybe a quick one for me then. What are the main challenges for your growth right now? Because you already have quite a number of users and so on.
Yes, the most important challenge is sometimes it is not easy to go to farmers directly. So we need partners from different parts of the world already working with the farmers. In different markets, it's worked good. So the challenge is to first create the connections in the new networks with the big names, which consumes time to make the deals, and some sales cycles are longer in big entities. But if you can go from the big companies to the market, that would be much faster growth inside the market.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
More question? We still have 1 minute 40 seconds.
What do you mean by patented AI, and what exactly is patented?
We are not just giving like standard indexes like NDVI and others. We have developed a growth model for different types of crops, and we have the phenology related crop growth model based on different wavelengths of the spectral reflectances. So according to the deviation from these models, we can say that there is a problem, there is not a problem, and it is also used for crop classification. So the modeling and how to use the model, it is patented, and it is special for us.
And how many crops can you tackle today?
It goes up to more than 21 crops, but we can integrate into different crops. For example, this year we managed to observe opium fields with the government also, which is a narcotic crop, but we have no data before the opium. But in a single year, we managed to create the model, start observations, and get accuracy more than 90% in the fields. So we can adapt in a fast manner.
One question, in terms of data and facts, comparing to other models, comparing to other competitors, how do you stand by in terms of efficiency and gains that you give to your customers? First, very impressive already. What I understood, you have 20,000 customers. When you say users, they are customers.
Can you repeat one more time? I couldn't get it very well.
Time is up. I don't know.
Maybe you can write from the chat, and I can try to answer.
No, I think it's funny, but that's a question. When you say 20,000 users, you say 20,000 customers.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Some customers gives us more than one users, like banks and other big corporates. So it's not single by single users. We sometimes go to the networks of the farmers. We sell to a farmers network and they distribute it. It is
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So up to the next startup, we have Cedrion. If you could share your screen, and the floor is yours.
Hello, good morning. Let's see if I can share my screen. Do you see my screen?
It's loading. Yeah, now we can see. I will start the time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce our company. I represent Cedrion. We create things to create ionic wine. That means that we are able to create air currents just with electricity. And this has a lot of applications, but we are focused on two: killing bacteria and viruses and refrigerate onboard electronics. The magic happens when we put ambient air under two electrodes, and then we take out electrons of the neutral particles of the air, and we create ions, and we accelerate those ions in our electric field. We have 2 patents on the geometry related to geometry of the electrodes. All of this magic has gotten a lot of recognition at national, European, and international level, with the Seal of Excellence, with several prizes, and as I told you, in Mexico or in Paris. And focusing more, what's the problem? We are the most efficient technology to inactivate virus or bacteria in the air. Almost 7 million premature deaths due to ambient pollution in closed rooms. 10% of the people that goes to the hospital gets an illness due to going there, due to the infections or the air that it's over there. And the problem is a very big problem with a very huge market growth. We are focusing on hospitals and healthcare because are the most urgent in these kind of things. There are a lot of technologies, HEPA filters, UV. Really, the only things that works are the HEPA filters, the smaller, the ones with the tiniest holes. But this needs a very powerful fan, a lot of consumption, and a lot of noise, and also a lot of maintenance. We don't need not the fan, not the filter. We are very, very efficient. How efficient we are? We are in one pass, we kill 99.99 virus or bacteria that pass through our grids, our plasma. For real environments, we are able to download 80% of the microbacterial or virus concentration in just 10 minutes. UV light will need like 2 to 3 hours to do the same. This is our first product. It's fully silent because we don't have any moving part, very low maintenance, very low energy consumption, is CE mark, and we are already in our first series. It's a reality, okay? And how's our business model? Well, we take in charge of the technology and of the product design, so we are able to do it modularly. We have externalized the manufacture and the logistics. And what we are focused in the upstream is just getting which niches are the most intense or for our technology. So we have been able to create an agreement with a major company for hospitals, with ambulances, biosector, etc. Just for cooling, we are creating those currents, and we are able to minimize the weight and the size than traditional technologies without any noise. Those are our clients right now. We are 20 people, and sorry for the time. We are looking for 1 million just to scale operations, sales, and growth. Last year, we have already revenues, 400,000 revenues. We have double the year before, and we expect more than 1 million this year because we now have our products and are already CE mark.
10-15 seconds to wrap up.
Just that. Thank you very much. If you have any question, please come up.
Thank you very much. So let's move to the Q&A question and 4 minutes to the jury member. Any question?
Hello. Yes. I was important as a reference also to the former presenters. I would like to have a view about competition and how your solution goes with the other players that are addressing the same kind of solution. What are the facts that you have that your technology has really a difference, and what's the barrier of interesting other players to use this technology to compete with you?
Okay, the main technologies to inactivate microorganisms are the HEPA filters. You know that is just a filter with a fan. Active plasma ion discharge. They are sending ions and things all around the air with a very low concentration. That means that you can, they try to kill various bacteria in air and surfaces. The main issue here is that it takes like 2 to 3 hours to be able to kill those microorganisms. And then the UVC, okay? There are a lot of companies on this sector, especially after COVID-19 situation. What they do is they mix up different kind of technologies, but always with the same, let's say the same problems. Or you need or high maintenance or high consumption, and always you need a fan. That means a lot of noise, okay? With our technology, we don't need the fan and we don't need the filters, okay? Plasma technology is very well known for killing various bacteria in food industry, also in health. But what makes our technology unique, and that's why we have our patents, is that we are able to produce it in a very big grid. So we are able to move a lot of air to create this effect. Okay. Up till now, just our technology is being used, for example, in the MIT for the ionic plane. They want to make the first airplane without any moving part. In New York, there's another startup doing that for drones and things like that. But for applying it to move in the air and killing bacteria in the way is just us. That's why the efficiency is so high, and that's why we are looking for professional environments and hospitals and that, because they are able to understand our technology, and because the competition, they are big companies, very well-known companies, and we need to get into niches that they value more the technology than the marketing.
1 minute, so let's have another question.
And to maybe jump on that question, what are the different prices of your competitors and also your technology today?
HEPA filters are cheaper. HEPA filters can be from, well, 600 to 700 euros. Active plasma ion discharge or UVC are like 3,000 euros per system. Our system is like 2,000, so we are more expensive than HEPA filters, but cheaper than active plasma or UVC irradiation, with less maintenance and much more accuracy and fully silent.
Thank you very much for the question and for the presentation. So
thank you very much.
We will move on to smart farm robotic.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Just let me share the presentation.
It's still loading on my side. Yes, we can see it, so I will start the time. Thank you.
Okay. Hi everyone again. My name is Rosen Kolev. I'm CEO and co-founder of Smart Farm Robotics. Now present you our project, Robo AI Weeder. Our goal is to address one of the oldest problems of agriculture, getting rid of weeds, but in a cost-effective and sustainable way. Nowadays, farmers spray tons of herbicides, they use machine tilling, and many still employ lots of manual labor for weeding. But herbicides are poisons, which damage the environment and human health. Machine tilling adds pollution, it's imprecise, and weeds regrow quickly after it, and manual weeding is labor-intensive, costly, and unreliable. Meet our solution, Robo AI Weeder, a fully autonomous, smart weeding robot. You can see here our latest prototypes and the improvements we've made, and the solar panels on top provide the energy to power all robot systems and charge the battery pack, allowing even for night work. The improved aluminium frame on the right is lighter but stronger, with bigger and better hub electric motors with inbuilt wheels and also stronger suspension. Robots include both front-facing and downward-facing cameras, and you can see here in the picture on the left one of the two weeding mechanisms we use, the contact mechanical one. An important point, we use exclusively AI based on deep neural networks to distinguish weeds from crops and aid the weeding process. Our solution is a game changer versus current weeding methods in terms of less pollution, lower cost, better precision and reliability, and also serious health benefits for farm workers. But we also have distinct advantages over our closest startup competitors. We've listed here several such companies from different countries and regions, and where and why we excel them. The total worldwide potential for automated weeding is more than 40 billion euros, while even only in Europe, it's estimated at nearly 6.5 billion euros. Of course, we are realistic in terms of timeline and capabilities, so initially we plan to target only a small part of this huge market potential, namely the segment of organic, herbal, and aromatic plants and vegetables. Why them? Well, the farmers that grow them have some of the most acute need for affordable weed control, as organic means almost no herbicides. They're also a very high potential niche group in terms of revenue per hectare and growth rate, and we already have very strong sectoral knowledge and excellent relations with many organic farmers. Next market focus would be conventional crops, of course, mostly vegetables, roots, vineyards, other specialty crops, and in due time outside of EU expansion. How do we plan to monetize this market potential? Our business model rests on 4 pillars. We start with the hardware as a service model, which means we take full care of the weeding using our robots, and the farmer pays us price per hectare kept clean of weeds. Then we plan to move also with the software as a service model once we gather enough land under management, and to use the data we collect from the fields by analyzing it, turning it into predictions and analysis for the farmers, but also for other potential customers like agri companies, NGOs, and public bodies. Now, later on, we plan to move up the margin ladder by renting the robots. Of course, for that, we'll need to have already the technology quite well established and secure, and also the farmers to have gotten used to the robots. So it will mostly push to former hardware as a service users. And finally, we plan to start selling the robots within 3-4 years of market launch. For that, we'll need to have clear demand from farmers and readiness to own the machines, of course, and the necessary support and maintenance infrastructure on our side. Our go-to-market strategy starts in our home country, Bulgaria, and then we gradually plan to move across Southern Europe. Why Southern Europe? That's where our most target segments are focused. And we plan to reach the farmers in those countries by direct contacts, referrals, word of mouth, but also we plan to meet them at trade and industry shows and fairs, and also to leverage our network of partners and distributors. How do we see this over time? This year, we are finalizing our MVP and also having a few large-scale pilots in Bulgaria and in Southern Italy. And we plan for a market launch in 2025 in Bulgaria, with Greece and Italy following soon after. And we expect to have, by year 4 or 5 of market launch, to be already sustainable.
10 seconds to wrap up.
Yep, and this is our team, which is already quite a diverse mix of professionals with key knowledge and experience in key domains. And we already attracted more than 350,000 in grants and almost 150,000 from private investors. Sorry, this is our final slide. So thank you very much for your time, and ready for questions. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Questions? 4 minutes. Thank you.
I have a first question,
yes,
which is about augmented autonomy.
Yes.
And do you need an operator for the robot today? And also a second question about the productivity. So how many hectares can you cover within a day or within a full charge?
Yes, well, currently we're in the MVP phase, so of course we always have a person next to the robot, but when we launch it fully, it will be fully autonomous, so it can navigate itself around the rows of crops and also turn at the end of the rows, and we just need GPS to know where the end of the field. And regarding the productivity, currently we're targeting to be better than well-motivated human labor, so about 400 or 500 square meters per day. The plan for the market launch is to be somewhere between 5 and 10 times faster. We're already getting quite well there, so that would be the minimum. That would mean that we can manage something in the range of 5 to 10 hectares per season with one robot.
Thank you. More question? We still have 2.5 minutes.
Maybe a quick one. And who is responsible for the robot's maintenance if something is breaking and so on?
So during the hardware as a service phase, where we'll take full care of it, that would be us. During the rental service, that would be, of course, the farmers, and they'll have the support of our maintenance. After the selling, it will be based on warranty for 2-year period, with additional subscription services for upgrades, payment, and paid services. Additions.
We have 2 minutes more for questions.
There's one question. You said about providing the hardware. This is a very costly business model. You need capex, need maintenance. Like, how does this fit with so early stage moment? What's your strategy for having the capex? Because of what I understood, for the moment that you are, you don't have raised enough capex or money for to invest in this model. Could you
Yes, so the first model, the hardware as a service, is indeed the most intensive on our company, the most resource intensive. We know that, but we've already planned for that. We expect to have actually a healthy margin even on that model in the range of 10 to 15%. That would require, of course, a lot of investment. We'll need operators. We'll need also to have local hubs, which we plan to have already in every region that we're servicing. We're trying to cluster our first customers also in specific regions so that we can service them better. And yeah, it will be, but the first phase only. That's why we plan later to move on to renting the robots once the technology is well established and the farmers are more used to it.
And just if I may add, in terms of raising capex, we have already attracted some angel funding, and also we have a very robust pipeline of venture capital, and we're waiting. We just passed the interview stage for EIC Accelerator grant, so we're waiting the results from there as well.
Thank you. We have 20 seconds left if there is a small question. No? Okay, then thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Smart Farm Robotic, and we have 2 more startups from the group 2. So Zelus, yes, Zelus is your turn. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to share my screen. It's okay. Can you see it?
Yes, it's not in presentation mode, but it's we can see the slide.
No?
Okay, I will start now. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Bouloukaki. I'm representing Zelus, a startup based in Greece. I'm really excited to be here and to introduce you to Vogue. So thank you for the opportunity. But before I get into more details, I would like to begin with a question. How many times have you or someone you know stood in front of a closet full of clothes and still said, I have nothing to wear? Can you relate? Because I do. So here is the deal. Our closets are overflowing because the fast fashion industry is on overdrive. It's of the planet's top 2 polluters, all thanks to fast fashion. So people are stuck in a loop of buying and disposing items without realizing the real damage it is doing to the environment and the society. So let's go back to the struggle of staring at our closet and feeling like we have nothing to wear. But what if I told you that there is a solution? Because because now we will have Vogue, our digital wardrobe and personal stylist. As you can see, Vogue is a mobile application that we can easily digitize and organize our clothes without the hassle of dealing with a mountain of them. To elevate our style, AI personalized outfit recommendations are provided as ways to manage our clothes properly and keep track of what we wear most, all while we can interact with the Vogue community to inspire each other. So the whole idea is to rediscover the love for our existing clothes and break free from unnecessary shopping purchases. That's our goal. Of course, we are not saying never buy new stuff again, but there is a twist because we want to encourage people to pick items that are made in a greener, more circular way from businesses that are open about how they do things and can actually prove it. And to make this happen, we will set up a marketplace of businesses that will be evaluated by our expert team to their sustainability level. And we're not just stopping there, because for businesses, we've got an AI-enabled digital assistant buyer that helps people choose what they really need. We offer them consultancy services and tools to shift to a circular economy model. We're keeping up with the European rules by creating digital product passports. And with data analytics, we help them to stand out by creating personalized marketing actions to increase their customer satisfaction and loyalty. And this is actually how we will make money, because our primary revenue will come from B2B services, as we've chosen consciously to not to adopt a B2C model and keep the app free for end users. Now, given that our product is yet to launch, our current income is coming from grants, internal funding from Zilus. And as you can see the diagram, we project losses in the first 2 years, but we forecast reaching the break-even point by the end of the second year. And in order to accelerate our growth, marketing is the main area where we need support and funding to promote our application, to attract businesses, to attract end users, and of course, achieve our goals. Finally, behind all this vision is our team, which consists of 5 members dedicated to the project. We already collaborate with businesses to validate our services, and we receive support from various organizations in Europe and Greece. Thank you all for your attention. We're working really hard to change fashion for better, so you should join us.
Thank you very much, and really good timing. So we can move on to the 4 minutes of question and answer. Thank you.
Hi, Maria. I'm not sure I understood who were your typical customers. So could you elaborate on the B2B strategy?
Maybe I can jump in here, Maria.
Yes, of course, Dora.
Okay, good. So, hi, I'm in the same team as Maria. So basically, we are addressing 2 customers, 2 beneficiaries, if I can call it like that. One is the paying customer and the other one not. So end users like you and us are the typical consumers of which we want to have a large base in order also to attract our business customers. And when we're talking about business customers, we're talking practically about all businesses in fashion that want and are obliged after 2025 actually to transition into more sustainable and circular operations. So the good thing is that already now there is a trend for businesses actually trying to do this better. But what is with us is that the European regulation is helping us because it will also force them. I don't know, did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And were you in talks with some fashion businesses, and did you see from them an intention to pay for such services?
Yes, so basically we have done user research, both for the end users, if they would be willing to spend their time on our app, but also with businesses to test basically, their intention if they would like something like this. Of course, with the business customers, that survey was a little bit more constrained because it's more difficult to to access them. But it was good that we have already some collaborations through other projects, and the intention is there. They're a little bit more reluctant at the moment regarding the full area of the services. For example, the digital product passport is still something that a lot of companies cannot fully grasp because it's still a little bit vague how this is going to be done. But especially with what has to do with data for customizing their marketing campaigns, and also especially the AI assistant buyer. There is a lot of interest there because they are already putting, they already have a big marketing budget, and it's not very often efficient. And especially when they are small companies that they're investing more in their processes, being sustainable also is costly. So they do want to use their marketing budget more efficiently.
We have 1 more minute for questions.
My question, in terms of an addressable market, you put as a target eco-friendly customers, etc. Do you have hard data about what is this participation in the market of these kind of customers, or if there is a trend that these kind of customers will be relevant in the future in terms of addressable market? Could you detail and go a little bit deeper on that?
Yeah, so there are not really a lot of data at the moment. So what we did is a little bit, well, I don't know if it is unorthodox, but we are part of one of our supporters, like in the previous year, was S for Fashion, and it's a community of fashion companies that are striving to, to innovate the fashion industry and make it more circular and more sustainable. So we got basically a hint of like the market from there, because there were also like complementary services to what we do. And there is a market and there is a growing trend. We see a lot of companies trying to do it better because they want to prepare themselves for the regulations, of course. But it's not fully.
I don't want to cut, but just 10-15 seconds to wrap up.
Yeah. It's not fully quantifiable. It's more like, maybe if Maria, you can show slide 13. It's more like a trend and the rate that we have captured, and what we expect is like the obligation that will come from the European Union, basically.
Thank you very much for presenting your startups and answering all the questions. And we are on to the, not the last startup, the last of group 2, and we will have group 3 with 5 more startups at the end. So for now, we have the last one of group 2, which is regrowth.
Hey, I already start sharing, okay?
Okay, I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. You can start.
Okay, so good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Depends where you are. My name is Michael, and I'm a veterinarian in central Italy. And what they teach us in vet school is to look for the individual animal, how it moves, the condition, the health, and most farmers are able to do it. They see a sick animal and they recognize it immediately. The challenge comes when you see this sea of animals, which is usually most farms, and you need to individually to detect the first one, the sick one, that bringing the pathology to the farm. And this costs a lot of money because it's not as precise. It costs both the management in terms of antibiotics, but also the risk factor, because if it comes into the farm and you don't catch it in time, you can lose the entire production. Here's where we come in. We developed the lift station. It's a compressive solution that goes into the farm under the feeder or in key passages and detect key activity of the animal, environment, and growth rate. The system is a complex one. So we have the IoT station for the individual animal or the group. We have a communication sensor system that is completely wireless, works outside or inside, independent of infrastructure. And we have a data aggregation system, AI powered, that brings all this data to a comprehensive and simple view for the farmer. We've been running for several years now. Our experiments predominantly in biological farm or eco-friendly farms, and we reduce the mortality, the antibiotic use, and the feed use in all of them. For the simple farmer, for the average farmer, it means a reduction of about 20 to 25% of his overall expenses, both from the direct use of antibiotics and the feed reduction that comes from the shortening the time of the cycle. Our business model is system as a service, very simple one. We provide the consultancy, the management of the farm, and the hardware costs are part of this service. The idea here is that the farmer is a prosumer, he provides the data, and the more time we stay on the farm, the more precise the data is. Our market is pretty simple. We talk about the animal protein market, but specifically about the investment that the farmers or the consortiums or the chains are doing, which is about 18 to 22% of the total budget. And specifically, we started with the poultry market in Italy because it's a simpler animal to work with, and we are based in Italy, so it's shorter. The idea here is to go for the specific segment that worth 300 million euros. Our strategic milestones from now on are conclude our POCs. As you've seen earlier, we're running about 5 farms now, and with always growing complexity. The idea here is to get to the most complex commercial size farm, conduct the pilot sales of about 20 to 50 farms to validate the system, and then scale up rapidly. For these objectives, we are already in talks with some of the main production chains in Europe. The competition can be divided on a simple axis. The more simple the solution, the less precise the technology, the cheaper. The more it becomes complex, the more it becomes expensive. We break it because we do data fusion, and it allows us to work with simple sensor. As you can see, we're really focused on impact both for the animal, environment, and the producer. And what we are looking for is a seed round of about 2 million euros and for the expansion and scale up in 2025. Our strong part is our team. We are boots on the ground raised, started as farmers and veterinarians, and we developed our way across the sector. So if you really believe that local empowerment and local work is important, we build ourselves from the ground up and we're working upwards. If you want to see our farms, if you want to see our animals, if you want to see our system work, please come to the beautiful place in Abruzzo, Italy. This is our experimental farm. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent timing.
I tried, I ran.
At the right second. Okay, so let's move on to the Q&A question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Two quick ones for me then. You mentioned that you're right now you're trying to grow it in Italy. So what are the next countries? And what's your strategy of reaching your target customer, your end customer, basically?
So the next company is Spain. Actually, our first pre-seed investor is Eatable Adventure, based in Spain, and we already have companies there, both with family offices that actually run poultry companies and with aggregations of farmers. And now we have a two-tier approach. We work with smaller farmers directly because they are much more reachable and open to us. And we already started a negotiation with the big companies that run hundreds of farms, both as contract farms as their own. In Italy, it's Amatori and the Onesi. And the idea here with them, it's a B2B, more long process, but we started it now to be ready for 2025.
Okay, thank you.
No question? We still have almost 3 minutes.
I was either too clear or people are already tired and thinking about lunch.
Then maybe I will continue. How difficult is it for you to reach the big companies in this case? And how much easier is it to reach farmers, or is it harder to reach farmers than the big corporate, like the big companies? How would you compare it?
The farmers are easier to reach, especially the ones that we work in, which is biological farmer. They're looking for the innovation. Actually, I have a slide about it. This is a work I did in 2020 about small-scale farmers, and now in 2024, and the prognosis is right there. We have a new generation of new farmers that looking for innovation that fit the size of small farms. So onboarding a small farm is actually easy. The problem is that you need to do it one at a time, and the growth rate on a territorial level is relatively slow. Onboarding a big farm, it's harder because they usually have a budget already pre-planned a year before. They already have an innovation strategy, so you need to get into the innovation strategy in time. But once you secure a contract with an entity like Amadori, which runs about 200 farms in all Italy, the expansion is high. So we work on both channels in parallel, one for the validation of the technology and growth rate and customer acquisition, and the other one for the expansion. We try to walk both lines.
Okay, thank you.
Still 1 minute.
Everything was clear on my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. So no more question coming?
If I may have one, Oriana, if we have time. I was just curious, I mean, to know something more about the social impact of your venture, Miguel.
Yeah, thank you. So we come from a marginal region. So it's a small scale production family-sized farm. And what we are trying to do is we're trying to actually give the farmers, independently of the size, the ability to compete in the digital farming. We had a lot of startups here talking about digital farming as the future. The problem is it's much more accessible for bigger farms. And we actually started from the small ones to give the same tool that can be work together and not be exclusive in the market. We actually have a good impact here with the local farmers that we work with. They're really content and they're finally starting to sell and starting to upgrade their comprehension of the sector. Not only sitting on the tractor, but actually understand.
Wait. Okay. Thank you. Time is up. Thank you, Giuseppe, for your question as well. We are finished with group 2. So we have 5 more startups to go. Let's have another 5-minute break. And we will be moving on to the 5 last startup. I know it's lunchtime, but please stay with us. Just to reminders that to the jury to fill up all the Google form now. You will have a new link for the 3rd group, and that we have also an expression of interest form in case there is anyone interested for want to express an interest in one of startup. Okay, we are back for the 3rd group. So last but not least, we still have, I think 4 startup. I think if I'm not wrong, Ina, Inorma will not be presenting, right?
Exactly. Due to some personal reasons, Inorma will not be able to be here with us today. But for sure, we will be sharing their pitch deck and they'll have the opportunity for matchmaking within Synergistic program as well. So startups.
Okay, so it will be in this order: Robotixa, Light Mirror, Planet AI, and Archie. So Inorma will be not there. So just a reminder for the jury member, we are sending you the forms for the 3rd group for you to be filling up. Do you need to say anything, Ina?
No, not on my side. The jury members will receive in a personal message in the Zoom chat the evaluation forms. And please do fill them right after the pitch of each of our startups. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So a reminder, it's 4-minute pitch, 4-minute question. I will be keeping the time. And Robotixa, I will stop sharing and give you the floor.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Let me try to share the screen.
Yes. Okay, I see it now. So I will start the time.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. So I will start the time now.
Okay. Good morning. I am Ignacio Secades, CEO of Robotixa, a Spanish tech startup specialized in robotics. I would like to thank SynergistEIC program for this opportunity. Consumers crave high-quality fruit for health benefits. The kiwi, a top-tier fruit, stands out for its flavors, attracting those willing to pay a premium. But bad-tasting fruits impact consumers and producers. To mitigate this risk, rigorous quality control measures, including inspection, are vital. The kiwi fruit market is estimated at $2 billion in 2024, and is expected to reach 2.5 billion by 2029. Consumer demand is fueled by health and wellness concerns. Manual kiwi sorting has speed and consistency issues. KiwiNear, our solution, eliminates errors, offering efficiency and reliability. Detecting internal damage in kiwi fruit is crucial for quality maintenance and minimizing the waste. Non-destructive inspection system enhance the accuracy. KiwiNear automates quality control, reducing cost and ensuring high-quality products. Our business-to-business robot-as-a-service model offers flexibility and lowers entry barriers for customers. KiwiNear utilizes a multispectral camera and convolutional neural network for precise ripeness prediction. System validation is crucial for us. Business-to-business robot-as-a-service model generates revenue from each inspected fruit, minimizing customer risk. Led by experienced engineers, we are poised for success. The KiwiNear project is led by two industrial engineers with expertise in robotics, machine learning, and computer vision. We handle the technical aspect of the product, and a marketing specialist is responsible for overseeing the product launch in both the national and international markets. Actually, we are seeking for 500K for milestone 2. We'll finalize product development, initiate a beta release, and launch prototypes, and recruit key staff. At present, we have already get 150K in funding. We reached technology readiness level 7 in our product, and we have positive feedback from agricultural companies, and we are set for the next strategic steps. This is an example of what we want to do. Starting a KiwiNear at Vega da Wind factory, costing 75K with a 3 years amortization. It optimized the production process and will be able to inspect 1,750,000 kiwis monthly. In partnership with a small kiwi producer, KiwiNear incurs monthly cost of 3.3K, while potential monthly incomes vary from 5 to 20K, considering production forecast scenarios ranging from expecting 10% of the production
10
to
seconds to wrap up. 10, 15 seconds.
25% of the production. The venture is projected to yield a plus 20% ROI over 12 months. And yeah, help us to transform the agriculture sustainably. Thanks for your attention and potential support, and together we can make positive impact.
Thank you very much. So a reminder about the the form for the jury member, and then we can move on now. I'm starting for the Q&A session. Thank you.
Hi, Nacho. My first question is
Hugo.
regarding the competition landscape, because I don't think that I've ever seen such applications to the kiwi crop. So, do you know of existing technologies today?
Yeah, there are several competition being developed, and some of them are already in the market. The main difference is the production capacity. They are slow, or they are or they need more manual work. The technology or the way they analyze the fruit is different, is completely different. So they are measuring the same physical property, which is the sugar concentration in the fruit, but the way they are measuring is less optimal. So the need is in the market, but the way they are solving it is completely different.
Okay, thank you. And
how yeah. Make the question.
No, I was wondering how big the market was, or is actually, and if it was possible to apply it to other crops.
Yeah, so we have started with the kiwi, because in our landscape in Asturias there are some kiwi plantation, kiwi farm. So we have access to at least 3 of them. This scenario we have a model is with one of the smaller one, which is producing actually 1,500 tons per year, and they are scaling up to 2,000 tons for next year. And with this farming capacity and 1 kiwi near, we are able to work at the same ratio. Okay. Also, we have a contact. Yeah, this company Sol Green Fruits, which are producing lemons, not kiwis. So we are also in contact with tomatoes, lemon, and other fruits.
We still have 1 more minute.
Maybe I missed it, but to clarify, what are the potential challenges or barriers for you to implement, to adapt the technology? And if there are some, how do you plan to tackle them?
So the main difficult barrier is the farmer themselves. Farmers are not used to the technology, and it is a huge investment for them, and that is the main reason we have decided for the robot as a service to reduce this barrier. The companies usually are not very big, and bigger investments are a complicated decision for them. The second decision is that they are not very sure about the quality. So at this moment, the quality is not very fine. Describe it. So they are selling products in a somehow in a gross quality.
Okay. Time is up. So
okay,
thank
sorry.
you.
Thank you. Thank you
for the presentation and for the question. So I'm a little bit confused.
This is my turn. Like this.
Let me. So
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yes, Inorma is not here, so that's time for Light Mirror. You can share your screen, and once we see it, it's still loading on my side. And once I see it, I will let you know. Do others see it, or it's only me?
No, it's loading.
Okay.
Maybe try to reshare.
I'm back. I don't know, like my Zoom crashed when I shared the screen. Now?
Yes, now I can see it perfectly. Yeah, just a reminder for the jury that you have the link for the group 3 for the results. Please use the third link. Thank you, and the floor is yours, Dimitri.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Dimitri from startup Light Mirror, and our company brings sunlight to hospital. 68% of hospital rooms don't get any sunlight. And it's a very huge problem because it leads hospital to consume 6 times more energy than the current EU standard. And it became an emergency in Ukraine because of the blackout. These critical facilities cannot ensure the basic needs because of their high energy consumption. And our purpose is to bring sunlight into these healthcare facilities to reduce the need for artificial lighting and also for heating. Our product is a reflective panel that we place on the roof to redirect sunlight from one part of the building to the windows of another part. Why sunlight is so important in hospital? First, patient length of stay is directly correlated with the sunlight in the room of the patient, and south-facing room can reduce the length of stay by up to 40%. Secondly, lighting during the day is responsible of 7% of the total energy consumption for the building. And finally, the heating is 50% of the energy through the whole life cycle of the building. Currently, we are based in Kaunas, Lithuania, and we have subsidiary in Poland. Our first project was in Czechów, in south of Poland, and we are having like 9 project planning, currently mostly in Ukraine, on the east border, and in Berlin. We receive expression of interest from several countries, thanks to COP28 and COP26, where we were speaker, and we are also participating actively in Rebuild Ukraine strategy for the government of Ukraine. Currently, the current competition is classical hospital renovation, and it costs a lot. And if we look at the scenario where we try to reduce by up to 30% the energy need of the building, doing light mirror installation and complementary renovation is 95% cheaper. For light mirror, we can install in a week without stopping the hospital, and the materials weight for the total renovation are divided by 100, having a very huge environmental impact. And finally, the length of stay will be shorter after our installation. Currently, we are B2Gov and project-based. We earn revenue from architecture consultancy, and we do the planning until the supervision of the installation. We will continue like this during this year, targeting 75K installation, and it will be enough for us to continue bootstrapping just by getting one installation. And beside this, we will test new business model as energy service company, where we will be responsible of the energy for the hospital after the installation. This is us, 2 co-founder. Alexandra was a chief commercial officer from big Ukrainian energy company. And me, I was working with the city of Nice, and I was responsible of very big renovation work in the city. we got already several grants and several client payments. We are waiting for answer for Horizon and Pathfinder applications for 40 million euros in total. And we plan to go to United States soon with Y Combinator. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good timing also. So let's move on to the 4 minutes of question and answers. Thank you.
And then quick one from me. First of all, thanks for doing this in Ukraine, from a Ukrainian person. Okay, the question. So how controllable are these panels in terms of adjusting the amount of lights redirected, and is it possible to adapt them to different like weather conditions, the day of the time of the day, and so on? Is it possible? Are they movable somehow or not? Or they're just in static position?
So they are fixed. For now, we did only on a roof, so it's easily accessible for maintenance, and they are fixed. So like you can change their orientation manually, but there is no motorization. And we do the calculation for reflecting most of the time during winter on window. And then in summer, it reflects on the roof directly, so it's not overheating. So like we do the calculation for weather during the whole year in planning phase.
Okay, interesting, thank you. And besides hospitals, what are the other buildings, let's say, can be a target?
So any, like in theory, any building which are like U-shape or like building next to each other, small narrow streets, but we target hospital because we have only one owner, and also it's very safe when you get a tenders. When you win a tender with the hospital, you have it for decades if you want. So like as currently the real estate market is not going very well since 2019. We chose to be B2Gov, so the next potential customer is also university, schools, administrative buildings, but they are losing some of the value proposition we give to hospital. So for now, we focus only on hospital, and this is our beachhead market.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm quite curious about hospitals and niche market, yes, but I understand this technology can be applied to a very more wide addressable market. What's the strategy in terms of long term? Do you pretend to focus only on hospitals, or there is a long-term strategy to go to another kind of niche market?
The long-term strategy is rebuilding Ukraine will get a lot of funding for the reconstruction, so it will be very easily to scale at country scale the solution, and this will be a huge amount of money. And second strategy we have, and we are trying to implement right now, is ESCO contract. So this is energy performance-based loan that will be made between a bank and a public partner, and energy renovation will pay back the loan for the hospital. And in this business model, we will be here to supervise the construction work in general, and then we will be the energy service provider. So we will be responsible for the maintenance and the energy production of the building, and we will be an energy service company. So we will replace their energy contract of the hospital, and they will pay us the bill, and us, we will pay back the loan for their renovation. So like this is quite complex public partnership, but it already exists on a solar farm, and we want to implement this kind of thing to renovation of public building in future.
Thank you. Time is up. Thank you very much for your presentation and innovation. And we have 2 more to go. Planet AI first and then Archie. So Planet AI, the floor is yours. If you can share your screen. Is there anyone from Planet AI here?
Maybe
from,
we can start with Archie.
yeah, or from Synergistic Consortium. Do you see in the attendees if?
I will be
go if you want.
checking.
Sorry?
I can go if you want, and then they can join after.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you so much. So, yeah, but for the jury member, it's gonna be a bit tricky now, no, for the form.
Indeed, but since we do not have them on the call, but they can revisit after and or just keep remember their scores, put it somewhere on a piece of paper, maybe. So
Just make
that we
sure
can use
to,
time.
yeah, for the jury, just make sure you have the right startup's name when you submit them.
Absolutely. Thank you,
So
Orion.
now we are now moving to Archie. So make sure you are submitting for Archie. Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet, it's loading. Yes, now we can see, so I will start the time. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone, my name is Martin. I will try to be brief because you're probably hungry and tired. So there's no other way to build a sustainable civilization. Hydro energy is the best because it's stable, predictable, and can be produced 24 hours a day. Nevertheless, the era of huge dams is over. The free-flow solutions are the future. Until now, all solutions face the major problem of clogging and high maintenance costs. We solved this problem. We developed and patented a free-flow system which you can anchor at the city center and start producing hassle-free renewable energy. Let me introduce PEER, the missing link in small hydro, a plug-and-play energy solution for any ship into a power plant. Our technology converts waving motion of fins into rotation, which is then used to generate electricity in a standardized way. Fins have a large effective area and move slowly, so they don't get clogged or damaged by any floating debris and are safe for the fish, unlike rotational turbines. We certified our system power output at Hanschikar Research Institute in Germany. Power output of a single SPEER unit is 15 kilowatts, which means it can power about 10 households. Testing in a real-life condition with Slovak Academy of Sciences confirmed our technology can withstand debris impact and generate electricity. Our technology has been protected since 2017 by WIPO. The US patent was granted in 2020, EU in 2023, and UK will follow this year. We are a European company based in Slovakia. We are a blend of technical people with hydro experience like me, my business minded co-founder Michael, and people like Andrej, who was CEO of E.ON Distribution in Slovakia and has more than 25 years of experience in energy companies. I will also mention our senior advisory board with experts in maritime engineering, electrical engineering, AI, and very importantly, business and financing. We are proud to work with strong R&D and manufacturing partners with long-term international shipbuilding experience who work with us on technology optimization and first deployments. We have two key customer groups: riverside real estate developers who want to power their buildings, and port operators, vessel and pontoon owners who want to use SPEER Hydro as an add-on to power their anchored assets directly from the river beneath, based on topographic analysis of suitable river banks. Our go-to-market strategy is aimed at early adopters on Rhine-Main-Danube waterway in Central and Western Europe, with more than 700 deployment spots identified in close proximity. The small hydro market is growing. We are competitive in terms of price per installed kilowatt, but most importantly, we believe all rotational solutions offered by our competitors will face regulatory issues and will clog when operated on your rivers for a longer time. We want, and in addition to it, Spear offers 50 square meters of deck space for commercial and public use, additional PVs, cafes, port infrastructure, grid balancing, battery storage, you name it. We will start with our first 5 customers in CEE who are ready to demonstrate the technology with us and have signed LOIs. Our unit selling price is 110,000 euros with a profit margin of 25,000. The ROI for our customer is 7 years. The lifespan of our product is 25 years. During this time, it will generate more than 700,000 euros for its owner. Spear Hydro won competitions and already received significant grant funding. We are B2B and we will sell the product. Later, we plan to license it worldwide. We expect the break-even point in year 5, when we will also seek an early acquisition by a big utility or shipbuilding company. We are raising 500,000 euros.
10-15 seconds to wrap up.
To deploy the pilot and to finish the optimization. Thank you and see you on board.
Thank you very much.
Maybe for Q&A, also Michael can join us.
Thank you. So let's go for the question and answers.
Again, I like the technology, I like the model, but it's, again, in terms of investment, quite capacity intensive. And what's the strategy? I know they are early stage, but I think you should have a plan to go to market, and how can you manage? What are the funding necessary for the implementation of your roadmap in terms of not necessarily direct investment in the company, but what are to be the alternatives to raise money and funding to these initiatives? I think is a subject that when you have a very intensive in CapEx startup, you should think clearly if you go for a financial partner, if you go to a strategic inventory partner. So we'd like you to talk a little bit about this.
If I make hello everybody.
Our current.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Michael.
Sorry, so I'm more of the business person, so I'll just give you very short answer. There are many options. What we identified as the best one is to engage in joint ventures, ideally with a utility company or like energy company that would integrate us in a vertical, in a product structure or like a solution structure. And through this bigger player, we would be able to access bigger markets and also access to funding, financing. But so this is a short answer. There is more to be discussed. Martin, maybe you want to add to this.
No, I'm perfectly fine with your explanation. I mean, currently we are really focusing on deploying the pilot because that's the most important thing for all kinds of investors, whether it's like angel investor, whether it's grants, whether it's big utility and shipbuilding companies. So that's our focus and that's what we are raising money for right now. This will take about 18 months to complete. And by that time, we already tried the different business models like selling the electricity, renting the device. But this model that we are doing right now is the most simplest and it has most good feedback from investors.
More questions? We still have some time. 1 minute and a half.
What type of regulatory barriers do you see today? Do you need, I don't know, specific governmental authorizations to install the product?
Yes. So thank you for asking the question. I think this is a very favorable question for us because there are not many. We are classified as a standard class vessel. We have standardized permitting process. We standardized berthing fees. So in our business, unlike our competitors who need to submerge the thing or attach it to the bottom of the river, we don't face these regulatory issues. So we just certify at the authority that allows us to sail and to be anchored. And this is pretty straightforward. The one area of regulatory kind of restrictions or considerations that we need to comply with is to be accepted as the device that produces electricity and can be plugged into the national grid. If you work on as an off-grid or blended solution, you don't need any permissions basically if you meet the technological standards, and you can produce the electricity right away. But if we would like to sell the energy into the national grids, there you need to be certified, as in our case, as a European, as a device that is considered to be a renewable source of energy in European Union. Also to be eligible for some support schemes, but this takes around 2 years. It starts with a national process, and then it can be also extended to other countries and internationally.
And about the
Thank you.
connection to the grid, it's like distribution companies, they don't really care how you make the energy, as long as you are connected through a certified inverter, which is already ready on the market. They're using generators for wind, so it's like very easy to connect.
Thank you very much. The time is up also for the questions. And thank you for going before the other startups. So do we have now someone from Planet AI or not? It does not seem so. Can I ask the support of the consortium to check in the participant list also?
I think they're not here, so we'll be checking with them after the event.
So that means we had all our pitch, so 13 startups. And thank you very much. It was really, really interesting to see all the great innovation. We will need a little break to check the results. I would like to ask all the jury members to make sure you submit the group 3 and the group 2 results. So just make sure at the end to hit the submitting button for us to be able to receive the results on time. And Hina, what do you think? 10 minutes break?
10 minutes should be fine, but if we are 1-2 minutes over, I think it should be also okay. We'll let you know in the chat for sure, but let's keep it for 10 minutes break.
Congratulations to everyone, and we'll be starting with announcing the winners. So now it's time to recognize the outstanding startup that has demonstrated an exceptional business model, strategic vision, and potential for growth. And after careful consideration and deliberation, the winner of the Best Business Model Award is Cedrian. So congratulations to Cedrian. This is well-deserved recognition. And if you'd like to say a few words, Enrique, if you are there.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm really happy of having this recognized, and thank you very much. We are very happy, and thank you very much for the program. It has been a intense but very valuable for us moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Enrique, and congratulations again. So the next award, now we'll turn our attention to the startups actually that captivated our audience with their compelling presentation, clarity of vision, and exceptional communication skills. And it's my pleasure to announce that the winner of the best pitch award are actually 2 startups. So with no differentiation between the 2 of them. One is Regrowth and the other one is Archie. So congratulations to Regrowth and Archie for delivering an outstanding pitch. So maybe we can go for Regrowth first, if you want to say, or Archie, sorry, if you want to say a few words. Archie, go ahead, Martin or Michael.
So thank you very much, guys. We worked really hard on the pitch, and we are training hard to be able to talk like this in front of audience, which wasn't always easy. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. And Regrowth, if you're still here with us.
Yeah, thank you again. It was a challenge to keep the attention, and I'm glad you appreciate the work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And finally, we will go to the final award, which is the social and environmental impact. And this award celebrates the startup that is making the meaningful difference in the world by addressing pressing environmental and social challenges. And the recipient of the Best Environmental and Social Impact Award is Archie. So congratulations again to Archie for their dedication of creating a better world for us. Martin and Michael, if you want to say a few words again.
I will also let's speak Michael this time, but first, this is something that really we are happy that we got this prize, because that's what we are trying to do. So thank you very much, and we will try our best to live like a little bit better planet than we found it.
Thank you. I think this really means a lot to us. This is why we do it, and it's our kind of joint commitment to make the planet a little bit safer and more habitable place to be. So thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So maybe I can say just a few words before wrapping up, if is that okay, Marianne and Ina?
Of course, go ahead, Joanna.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you all for being here, a part of this Synergistic Startup Showcase event, which we call our celebration of innovation and sustainability in the green tech industry. So today we have witnessed incredible ideas, passion, and dedication from all participating startups, and we are truly inspired by the collective effort to drive a positive change. We like again to extend our heartfelt congratulations to all the winners and to all the startups who share their visions and solutions with us today. Your passion and commitment to innovation are truly inspiring. We believe that all your ventures have the potential to make a significant impact, and we are excited to see your continued growth and success in the years ahead. We also would like to extend our gratitude to our ex-team jury members, Ugo, Vlad, and Stenio, for their expertise, insights, and invaluable contributions throughout the evaluation process. And thank you again to everyone who made this event possible, and we look forward to seeing the continued impact of your efforts in the green tech community. So thank you again to everyone.
Thank you, Joanna, and thanks on our side as well. It was really great listening to all of you and to confirm that we've selected the top performers for our open call at the end of the day. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.